Chat. Hey everyone, back for another night of who knows what the hell this is turning into. Um, uh, Starting off the day was horrible. Um, so maybe ending the night won't be so bad. Hey Jesse. Oh, let me turn off the um translation that always messes up the live. You guys gotta remember that if you go in your lives that hey Cobalt, that translation will mess up. Hey Desi, will mess with what people say and everything. So now I guess it's like I said, automatically every time you go on there, you got to turn it off. So while you're setting your chats to all or whatever the hell it's called, take off automatic translation because that just messes up English. But yeah, somebody gave my grandbaby that's allergic to dairy today. I guess they didn't know milk was in yogurt. Um, and he got, I had to go to the urgent care and uh, they gave him, well, stuff to counteract it and stuff, and he's home and okay. But he's very sluggish, and babies shouldn't have to go through things like that. And it just scared the crap out of me. But he's home and okay. He just is really feeling it, like when I held him. He was just leaning back on me, and he never leans back on me. I'll get maybe 2 seconds of affection from him, but the whole time I was holding him today, he was just leaning back, and you could just tell he was very uncomfortable. And yeah, his that's the thing. His stomach is going to be so messed up, even if they counteracted the like. He got to the point where he wasn't talking. And in every face, I was think like when he was born, he had head to toe rashes. And the doctors weren't like, maybe they weren't saying maybe it's a dairy thing. We were like, hey, this has to be dairy. It's just so weird how people don't act like they know what's going on with babies these days. But yeah, that just stressed me the heck out. But he's okay. He's just like I said, he's in the sluggish. His body shouldn't have went through this stage, and I'll be glad to see him like running around and stuff tomorrow. Hopefully, yeah, he's okay. Uh, his tummy's gonna be so messed up, and hopefully he doesn't get a rash. Well, they stopped the rash so far because it was pretty bad at the beginning. Then by the time he got home, it wasn't there anymore. So he's just like I said, he's just feeling it. You could just tell he's not. He wasn't playful or anything. He just wanted to lay back. So I'll be more happy. Like my heart's still sad for him, even though he's okay, because it's like he's still gonna be going through some things, but I'll be so happy when he's in here busting open my door 10 times a day. Like that's when I know he's okay when he's actually playing. He'll feel better in a few days and be your happy grandbaby again. Yeah, yeah, poor baby again for sure. Thank you guys for the support. But yeah, that I'm telling you, for me not to even be like in a, of course I'm in a stable enough mind frame, but for me to just be going through hard shit and then that happened and I'm like, oh, I can't rush to the urgent care to see if he's good. I just gotta wait to hear things. And everybody was very good with, keeping up with the messaging and making sure there wasn't too much of a time lapse in between everything. But it's still hard to have to sit and wait instead of being able to go and do. I'll never get used to that when it comes to things like this. You want to actually be able to see the, see the baby, make sure the doctors are doing the right thing, asking the right questions and stuff. And it's very hard just to leave it in other people's hands, because I can't do anything. I can't leave the house and stuff. So that weighs on me tremendously. Um, those things I will never be able to get over because it just you gotta think about it, it does something to the nervous system when you're just sitting and you're just like shit. I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere. I gotta wait. And it's a whole new experience than just being in the action. Probably an innocent mistake, but this is why I do not feed babies or even. That's what I'm saying. Or even children without clear instruction or knowledge of any allergies because I can't have these mistakes in my heart. First of all, everybody knew the baby was allergic to dairy. My daughter packages his food for him and his bottle, everything, so that nobody else would feed him anything. Um, so it's just like, why did this happen? But I mean, it is. I know it was a mistake, but it, it's just hard. It's hard, but you were present in a different way on the phone. I know it's difficult. Yeah. So, like I said, I'll feel better when I get to see him running around and getting in things he's not supposed to and stuff like that. But just tonight, he was all, groans and grumpy, and I could tell because when he got home, he only saw me for a little bit because I didn't sleep, and then I took a little nap or whatever. I could tell he wasn't going to go to sleep until he saw me again. I don't know, so I was like, just make sure he comes back here before, because I couldn't get him to sleep for a while. Then when he came back here, like I said, he just laid back on me and for like 20 minutes or so. And then after he got his bath and stuff, he was ready for bed. But he needed a little bit of grandma time, like I need a little bit of his time. But yeah, poor babykins. Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna official like I don't know how if he has to get tested for a lot of things at once or whatever. But I hope it's easily put on this chart that it's just no freaking dairy. And she was going to transition him to because he's on soy, so she was going to when he turns one, transition him, try to transition him to milk. I'm like, that's not going to work. But she wasn't going to try unless she tested it out a little tiny bit anyway. But we see now, without testing it out by somebody just making a mistake, it's a big nope. I miss talking to you. Sorry to hear about the little one though. Prayers he gets well soon. Yeah, he will. I like I said, this has happened to him when we spent months not figuring out and he got sluggish and stuff like this too. So I know he's gonna need a few days. So they usually can do a blood test or a test. I know. I just hope they're not like, oh, we gotta prick you with 100 things before they write on his chart that he's allergic to dairy because he 100% is. Um, I guess you could outgrow it. I hope he does. Um, yeah. So that was pretty much my day. How was you guys' day? Anybody do anything interesting or at all? Anybody hear from Susan? Adding things to medical records like allergies is really simple. It can take just a few seconds if someone knows what they're doing. Yeah, but I don't know. Here they act like it's just. It's like they. I know there's something they can do through blood, but they act like you have to go through that prick test of a million things to get anything on your chart. You just clean all day, does he? I was busy cleaning. I haven't heard from Susan recently. I hope everything's okay. You heard from her last night. You don't think she? Yeah, like what does she do? She sleeps. She just sleeps it off. That's scary. Well, Susan, if you're listening to this, at least respond with a dot or something like I say. You guys, I say that all the time. If I leave something and You're just trying to, like, she's sick and sure, leave a dot so I'll know at least you're there still. I still been sick, but on the med. Today was rotten bed day. Well, yeah, that's, you need those days though to get better. I don't know. I have something hurting on my side, and I keep on telling myself, if it gets worse, I'll get it checked out. And I'm like, oh, it's getting worse. But I feel like I'm hoping it's just because that's the side that I always lift the baby up and down from on the bed. But it just doesn't feel like something that would be sore from that. I just hope it goes. But I've been saying I hope it's been going away for like a month now, and it's not. It's clearly there, and I can't move really either side without it hurting. Both sides, even though it's on one side, both sides hurt. When you see this, yes, yes, when you see this, feel better, Susan. That too, but also I always say somebody could say dot dot dot. you know, like dot dot dot. You're at least you're that dot 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 means to me. You know how some people say dot 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 when they got an attitude. Like if you write a sentence or a word and then you go dot dot dot. It's not like that if you just go dot 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 to me. That's because I'm telling you that you're at least telling me that you're okay. Just can't really talk. Yeah, her stubborn ass doesn't want to go in. She just sleeping it off and taking care of the boys. So it's bad enough that she should have went in the hospital. Yeah, just give us a ding song. Because I know 2 days ago she said that she was feeling a little bit better and she ate something. And she probably got it from that dang was it Walmart trip? Oh, that sucks. So yeah, my anxiety's up so high, and I that's why I said I hate because I can feel myself breathing harder, not because like it's just because I've just been holding my breath and stuff. So when I actually talk, it's like inhale, make sure you do it long and stuff. So I always sound like I'm out of breath or something. I guess it is out of breath in a way, but I don't know how to explain it when my body goes like this. I'm just way past the exhausted freak out. Like I've been stuck in that for so long. So there's gonna be like things like this that come. I'll be glad if it or if or when it settles a little bit. Yeah. Did you get to watch Babadook? Is it Babadook? Yeah. Jesse, were you gonna watch any movies? I forgot if you were in the live to see if you ever saw Babadook before the scary movie. There's gonna be a new. Is it Insidious movie? I just saw uh, the thing for that. I think they said in August. I'm like, yay! At least they aren't trying to end that one yet. Yeah, we were gonna watch Babadook, which is a scary movie, and then Desi knows the other one. Desi, did you watch the one this morning? I of course didn't watch shit. Jesse, you read the books that we're about to read, I heard. Or that do you remember if it was any good? Did I say Jesse? Oh my gosh, I'm out of it, I think. I'm just out of it. I thought I could talk to him like, who's, what name am I saying? Oh my god. Anyway, let me try this again. Jesse, I think Susan told me that you already read these books. So I was just gonna say, are they any good? They were good, but I haven't seen three. I didn't. Oh, I don't remember much. Okay, so at least you would know if it wasn't good. So at least there's potential. I watched just Cherry Joe Goes to Miami. I started Babadook Needs to Finish. Okay, I will do mine hopefully tomorrow. My book still, I think, is supposed to get here tomorrow. I'm trying to think of like new topics and stuff to talk about, but like I said, I've been stuck in this rut. You guys have any things you want to talk about? I know today I was talking to my daughter. I'm like, I'm just giving up this stuff. What am I doing? I'm just really giving it up. I don't have. I feel like I don't have anything left in me for anything. And she was like, you better not give it up. I'm like, I don't know. My brain is just on overload all the damn time. Sorry, I went back to my original account since I no longer use the channel account. So my name is all confusing. Well, it's not that confusing. You're the only Jesse Lynn that I've seen. So the Insidious movies, is there a lot of parts? Yeah, I think this is the fifth or sixth one. It no longer has stupid kobolds. Yes. But Insidious is pretty much a lot like Annabelle and The Conjuring. It mixes in sort of those movies a little bit. I love the Insidious movies. Those I can watch at night. Really? Yeah, they're always good. That's why I'm right here. No, I love The Conjuring. Yeah, that's sad that The Conjuring's over. But I was happy to see Insidious, and they better keep it coming. Don't try to say that the last Insidious. It's like, no. Oh heck no! I was gonna say I need to watch them, but no, thank you. Why? Those are the quality scary movies. It's hard to find anything that has any substance these days. It's the Conjuring part of Insidious. It's not. It's not part. I'm trying to think of anything inter. Um, I don't think it's part of it. It's just some of the same actors, and it's like that somewhat. I remember The Ring. Wait, is Bambi a horror movie? A horror flick? Bambi's probably the only movie I can remember where my heart was like, no, and all the rest, I don't think I watched a lot of stuff after that, cartoons. Yeah, they're separate, but they just have some of the same actors, and it's the same type of feel to it. So, too, no thank you, Trudy. Oh, The Ring I watched during the day and Disney movies after. I was laughing at The Ring when I watched it last time. I was like, I can't believe how scared I used to be of this movie. But it is scary somewhat because I mean that's based off a lot of beliefs that people have. So that's what makes it scary. Let me make sure I didn't miss any held ones. I don't watch it. I can't. And I think the series and I like that a lot. The Welcome to Derry one and the first original movie, and then the second of the remakes or whatever. That was a good one. Other than that, they're just like whatever. The Ring and the Grudge I could watch, but anything else, no sir, no ma'am. I'll be watching Barney. Thank you. Shit, Barney scares me. Things that you can't see jumping around in something. People. Mm-mm. I haven't seen Annabelle yet. I've seen documentaries, but that's it. Oh, documentaries on Annabelle? There's a few. I like watching Annabelle because it's Annabelle, but I really think nothing. The first one was scary, and then there were little parts in the other ones, but I still wish they could amp that thing up so much more than they do. I wish they would amp up the scare, through. But like I said, we have been getting soft, and people talk about trigger wording this and that, so they can't ever do anything anymore in movies. But I'll be glad when I want to really really get scared in a movie, not like, oh, I could still watch it sometimes let my hearts jump. That hasn't happened. Yes, I saw I saw Megan and Megan 2.0. Those movies. No, they weren't. That's the thing. They weren't scary, but it was like at least you could see that they put in. They just put it. If it was gonna be a stupid movie, it's like at least they made it right. you know, like they made a stupid movie right. Like that's the only respect I have on those movies is that you know what you're gonna get with them, and they give it to you. These other movies, it's like no. I saw Devil once that was decent. You're talking what's that? The one with the elevator? Is that Devil? The last possessed doll movie I watched, I was little and it was called Dolls or something like that. Scary Dolls. I never want another doll again in my life. It was cool and dumb and yeah, exactly. So watchable. Yeah, and the old lady. Okay, was there dolls? I can't remember. I probably didn't watch it because I don't like too many doll movies either. I'll watch Annabelle though. Do you know? You don't know what year, does he? Doll movie. Hmm. I wonder what it was. Have you guys ever heard of Robert the doll? Have you seen any documentaries or anything on him? People don't talk about him too often. And then you don't want to pay attention to my breathing. I'm like, don't do that. And then I make myself not breathe, and then I go breathe even harder when I start again. You don't remember? Robert the Doll. I think they made it into a movie now, but Robert the Doll used to just be a haunted doll that people used to talk about. Oh, they do have it as a movie. Did I ever see it? 2015 on Tubi. I don't think I ever saw it. That might be one that I want to see what they say about it. But I'm about to look up Robert the Dog so I can tell you what it's about. I used to always watch a whole bunch of paranormal, real shows. That's why I know about this stuff. Okay, so it says Robert the Doll is a famously haunted 40-inch tall doll from Key West, Florida, believed to be possessed or cursed. Originally owned by the artist Robert Eugene Otto in 1904, the handmade Stiff or something company doll is said to move, giggle, and cause misfortunes to those who disrespect him or take his photo without permission. So, origin possessed around 1904 in Germany. Okay, the doll was often blamed. Oh, we got that part. So it says stories suggest the doll could change expressions, move on its own, and giggle. It was rumored to be cursed by a servant skilled in voodoo. Current location: so Robert's house in a glass case at the East Martello Museum in Key West. So so people go to this museum, right? And some of them take pictures of him and you're not supposed to take pictures unless he gives you permission to. So a lot of people will like take pictures or say they touched the thing and they weren't supposed to, so they'll send letters to the museum asking the people to work there to like for his forgiveness and stuff like that because they didn't believe it and they did stuff they weren't supposed to and they went home and they got scared and like I said obviously it's something to it if the people are writing back to the museum like please ask for his forgiveness and stuff. I'm petrified of dolls. Annabelle, Robert, Yard, you sell dolls. Any of them, they all scare the hell out of me. Yeah, I think it's Dolly Dearest, but not sure. Dolly Dearest? I just googled Dolly Dearest. Nope. Oh, now I gotta see. I was, I think, in kindergarten when I watched it. Never did I ever own a doll after that movie, and when I was gifted one for Christmas, I would leave them in the park. Oh shit! On purpose to give it away. I'd be scared shitless. I gotta look at that. What is it? Dolly Dearest? Okay. Dolly Dearest. What the heck is this? I don't ever remember this movie at all. Damn. So it's on YouTube? If I'm still I might watch it. Wait, is it free? Let's see. Hey, I just clicked something. I think it's free on YouTube because it's playing. I don't have nothing special. Yeah, it's free on YouTube. That looked like a doll made before its time. It really looks like it needs to be in these years dolls. That just seems to be how the human spirit has been lately. That damn doll. I collected porcelain dolls growing up, and I knew I left them all at my mom's for a reason. Yeah. Back in the day, it was said that the movie was actually created from real estate stories. Oh no, in Mexico, oh my gosh, I said no thanks, yeah. Mexican little stories are so scary. Jesse, no scary movies tonight, okay? You're not gonna watch it? What a tree, though. I really might. But I feel like I might go to sleep. But if I don't go to sleep, I really might watch that. I can't believe that's what I missed. Like usually I know, especially an older movie. Those movies didn't come out like they do now. John Scary Night, The Shining. Oh no, yeah. I really can't believe that was one movie I've never seen, or even I could see if I didn't see it but knew about it, but not to know about that one. Let me see what my books if my book's still in root. Oh. Oh, now they changed it to the 12th for the book to get here. I wonder why stuff is so delayed now. What the heck? That movie's terrifying. The twin girls, yeah. Or even, what does he say? What, the Here's Johnny part where he's hacking away at the door. Just imagine that, though. Being taken on a hotel out in the middle of nowhere, and then you do. I'm sure people go crazy like that for real, and then you're just stuck. I remember I used to have a friend. Like I said, the friend is in quotations, and I talked about her before. And I would live in the city. She would take me out to the country, and I would be trapped out there for like 4 or 5 days because I would be sleeping. And she would always say that she would be driving me back to work when she goes back in the city, but I would be asleep and not. She wouldn't ever wake me up, and she would just leave. So I would be stuck in country bumpkin land for like 4 or 5 days when it was only supposed to be for one day. What a creepy person, like they literally they know that there's no way you can get anywhere, and they sneak out so that you won't wake up, and then you got to stay there another day and another day and another day. That's really a creepy ass person that does that type of shit. Um, I just can't believe I kept on falling. But she would do it to my sister too, because me and my sister was both. We'd be like, we ski not together. We never did. It would be separately out there. Uh, Lord, I would be raising hell, and I never did. I would just used to be like, okay, but I would get so bored, and then eventually I would have to ask some, like if I caught her dead, I was like, I need to go back into the city catch, and he would take me home. But yeah, if it was up to her, she probably would have had me out there for like months and shit. F yeah, that was a creepy person. She held y'all prisoner for real. Yeah, with nothing to do, and then not even have no food. That's so you're out there at someone's house with no food, waiting for their ass to come up and not take you home that night and say the next day, the next day. And she had to be creeping some sneaky to not wake me up because I wake up to almost everything, especially back then. So she had to been really tiptoeing her ass around. Yeah, I definitely can't do country bumpkin land. It's always dark, no street lights. All those animals always, and then the bugs and are huge out there and everything. I can't believe we lived out in country bumpkin land for 4 years. That was enough. Of course, you like the peace of. It is peaceful when because hardly nobody's around and stuff like that. But then, like I said, if it comes to if you need it, if something's urgent, it can't happen there. It doesn't matter. You're just waiting. Uh, that happened to me once, and when why can I don't know what that I don't know how to pronounce it. Bodica, I don't know. Bayway. In the trees in this rich couple's house they had for their workers. My friend's brothers took us there because they were doing work on the main house. We were only supposed to be there for 6 hours. That turned into 3 days with nowhere to go, no neighbors or anything around for miles. Yeah, doesn't that suck? Yeah. And that's where a lot of people that want to do things to people, they'll pick them up in the city and just drive to the country bumpkin land where there's nothing, and then violate and then just throw them out into nowhere land where hardly any cars go or anything like that. Oh my god, I keep accidentally sliding the screen and it deletes everything I wrote. Oh really? Oh, because you had to come back in? Heck yeah. I never step foot in a car with them ever again. Yeah. It really is. You don't want to say you're held hostage, but come on, when people don't know you're the only, you're out there and they're your only ride. Like you can't get anywhere, and then they leave, and then when they get back, they're not gonna take you home. Even they're gonna be like, "Oh, gotta wait till tomorrow. Gotta wait till tomorrow." I'm really not a fan of scary stuff. Well, scary real life stuff, I'm not a fan of. Sometimes ghosts aren't too bad. I don't like the ones that are consistent or whatever, but if I could brush off certain things to a certain extent, but scary movies I could do all day long. I've come back in 4 times already. Oh no. That's my stomach growling. I didn't really eat much today. And I don't have my. Oh, I have some celery left. I might eat that. I got those Wickle pickles. I didn't open them yet, but it just seems like they're jalapeno slices and pickles mixed together. I feel like that's just, and I think there's Thai peppers in there too. I know those pickles gotta be hot because, like I said, it's not just like I gotta read it. I guess I might not, because if I feel like it's a pickle jalapeno combo, like you're supposed to eat both of them. Because if they just put that many jalapeno slices in just for the taste on the pickle, that's crazy. Because I feel like I see as much jalapeno slices as I do pickle slices. So I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared to open that. Yeah, we were 13 and 14 and cell phones weren't a thing and no landlines connected there. So we were literally hid in a room until he would come back from working and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm too." Yeah, that's what I. That's how it was. I'm too tired, or oh, I don't got gas money. Yeah, John covers his eye for movies, but does amazing in real life scare stuff. I'm the same. I've seen heads separated at an accident and I'm fine, but on TV I can't handle it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that seems like it's going to be very spicy. My spice tolerance is zero. I can handle Frank's or Cholula. I accidentally had habanero cheese and thought I was dying. Oh no. Oh, you can't handle Frank's hot sauce. That's not Does that even have a spice to it? For me, I use Frank's on for my hot sauce just because of the taste, but I don't think it's hot. Like I don't feel like it really has heat to it. Oh my goodness. Even the spicy pickles I get it's like okay, I could tell they could have somewhat of spiciness to them just because if it does almost go down, you know how you breathe something spicy the wrong way or it goes down the wrong pipe, then you have that spicy cough back. That's the only way I could tell like, oh, this must be a little hot, but the taste itself, I'm not like, ooh, this is spicy. So, I don't know. But yeah, these Wickle pickles, they seem kind of intimidating. I don't know when I'm going to try them. And I never tried wasabi besides that wasabi dry pea ball or wasabi pea. That junk was nasty. And of course, I don't eat sushi, so I won't be trying no wasabi. The most heat I can handle is Cholula or Louisiana hot sauce, really, but barely. Wow. I've never tried Cholula, but Louisiana hot sauce is like some weak. It reminds me of just like a diluted Frank's hot sauce, very diluted. Ever since I got sick and my throat wasn't working, I can't do spicy anymore. Oh, okay. I want to try a spicy pickle. I love pickles. Once I try the Wickle pickles, maybe you can look for them. Have you tried the spicy Grillos? They're good. And they have like their spicy comes from like habanero. Cause I always see habanero chunks in it and garlic chunks. I never heard of Louisiana hot sauce. I know there's Texas Pete, I think it's called. Well, for me, like I said, Louisiana and crystals, all that just feels like a diluted Frank's. I don't like sushi. Don't like how it looks, smells, is made. Nothing. Sushi and me are not made to be in the same place. Nasty as hell. But but Jesse likes it a lot. I know. I don't see how. Like I said, I don't think even if I wasn't allergic, I don't know if I would be tasting it. Maybe like the cooked version or something, but not the raw. Frank's makes you cough, but you still use it, yeah. The only spicy pickles I have tried was a regular pickle sliced and covered in hot Cheeto powder or crumbles. Like I said, I think Grillos is it has to have some spice because I did get the cough like one time, but I just like the taste of it way better than the plain ones. It gives me a kick in the throat. Yeah, Frank's does well. Louisiana hot sauce is the hot sauce they give you at Raising Cane's. I never had Raising Cane's. I don't think we have Raising Cane's on this side on the East Coast. Do we? I don't think so. Oh, Louisiana hot sauce on popcorn. But when you put hot sauce on popcorn, doesn't that just make the popcorn like disintegrate in a way? Now I will say it's not the same as hot sauce, but I do like hot honey. I don't like honey, period, so I'm not gonna be trying no hot honey. I never really liked honey to begin with, but um, honey and syrups and stuff are always way, way, way too sweet now for me. Like if I used to have pancakes with a normal amount of honey on it. Now, if I have pancakes, which the last time I really had those, but I'll put like a drop of syrup on it. Some of it is yes, but I put a little at a time. Oh, okay, and shake it up so it doesn't get soggy. Okay. I want to try Raisin King so bad. We just got one. I want to put the fries and coleslaw on the bread. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna. Do we got one? I don't think we do. I didn't even know it was on the East Coast thing. Must still be likely. Oh, it says they're planning it for this year or next year. We'll see. I hate hot honey. Yeah, like I said, honey for me is a no anyway in general. Hey, Winter Moon. They built it in January. Oh, okay. I remember uh, I was in this, I was talking to somebody, right? And just, a friend or whatever. And we had a mutual person that uh, I would see from time to time. So I was telling her, hey, I see this person, blah, blah, blah. And then she told me that the person had passed. And I'm like, so I was seeing like a, unalive person this whole time or whatever, like a spirit. And thinking it was, the person that was alive. And she was like, yeah, because he's been gone since this month. I was like, dang, I really saw somebody. And there was a message that I said in there, like, to her. And she started crying, like, I can't believe you said that. Because I didn't know they were close or anything like that. And so she got a message out of it. I was just like, well, I don't know what I just did. I didn't know. I was just shocked I saw a person that had passed like a month or I think a whole year before something, right? So then I'm like leaving or whatever, and she just tries to feel, I guess, special and says, "Oh, something," like she thought I went in there saying, "Oh, he told me to tell you this. I didn't even know he was gone." Like I wasn't trying to make a big event going on. I didn't know he was gone. I just said it like I thought he was still alive. So I guess she had to feel special on the whole thing. When I look back, I'm like, she was just a dumbass. But she's gonna come out with honey and said somebody told me to give you this, like she got something. I'm like, well, I don't know who. I felt like saying I don't know who that somebody was because I do not like honey. So somebody done told you wrong. But she wanted to feel special, so I just took it. I was just like, people really just want to act like they got something special going on. Yeah, I wanted to give it back to her. I'm like, I don't want this shit. And none of my passed on peeps would tell you that either. And it was opened. How you gonna give me something opened? People. That's why I think I never like when I do get like little when I do get little things from people, like if I'm picking up on something, I don't say it anymore because it's just like people are like the dramatics of it that I don't have with it, but they do. And then it's like they want to feel special too. It's like I don't feel special picking up on things and then not be able to pick up on a damn thing in my life. I would feel special if I knew what was going on in my life and could see some foreshadowing or whatever the fuck that this is. I don't call it a gift. It's not making me no damn money. Shit. It's not getting me out of bullshit that I'm not seeing bullshit before it comes. Where's the gift in it? Nope, don't be giving me things open. Exactly. That reminds me of this reading I had done, and the dumbass was so wrong on everything. So I did chargeback. Oh shit. That's why I won't even if there's a day where I feel like I'm confident enough with what I have coming through and stuff like that, maybe, but until I'll never have it where I'll be able to read like tarot especially. I won't be able to memorize it. I've always said this, my brain doesn't retain it, but that doesn't mean every time I get a card it's like I already know what's going, like I already know what to say or whatever. Like without reading it, I just feel more of the connection with it and not the words, which you're supposed to be doing anyway. But a lot of people have that very mastered where they could just fool the shit out of everybody. And I don't ever want to be like that. And I also want to be able to tell somebody some fucked up shit too. Not, you know how a lot of people just try to make it where, oh, this is so nice and la la la. It's like, that's not life and that's not what you get most of the time. Most of the time, you get the darker stuff. At least I do. Maybe there are people that get the lighter things, but for me, I've always picked them on the darker side of people, and I think that I think for the main reason for that is people are darker. They just don't want to admit it. Um, but like I said, even if you're darker, you could always work on your shit. You could always try to heal. I say try to heal because I think you're always going to be in a continuous healing process. It's never going to be boom, I'm healed. You know, it's just like smoking cigarettes. Yeah, I quit smoking, what, 20 years ago now? That doesn't mean if I pick up a cigarette that I won't be hooked again. It's like that goes with everything. Same thing with my love life. I was hooked on it to a certain extent back in the day. Haven't been hooked on it for 20 years too. And still, if I went back in and jumped on it, I could have been, doing the same stupid stuff over again. I just hope that I would never do that. I hope that I will never go back, but it still will always be there. This man claimed, to be a clairvoyant, so I was like, I need to know if this is real because it was around the time my brother passed and I was so desperate. I mean, I was desperate to know and have closure, but he was a fraud. Yeah. I wouldn't, and that's another thing I would never do. I would never say I will never do anything with anybody that's passed on, like, um, which I wouldn't have done that day to this person. I just didn't know the person passed on. Exactly. They're usually more bad than good because we have to go through the bad to get to the good. So I never mind getting bad readings. Yeah. But I would never talk on somebody's loved ones. Those are things that I just wouldn't do. I don't know. I feel like when you do try that, you're going for more than you're going for. You can't open up anything and just pick what comes through there. So if somebody's trying to talk to your loved one, that guess what? You and them are open to whatever decides to walk through at that moment. Yeah, so just be ready for all that stuff. For me, my readings are more general between like the air between us, not anything that's out there because I don't want anything out there coming back and messing with me or the person I'm reading. That's why I always ask for protection and stuff like that. But I mean, one of my goals is to make it where I feel like I'm good enough to keep on doing the readings and stuff. I don't want to feel like it's all in vain. But that's one thing I've been lacking on too, where I usually don't. I usually still do those. I gotta start up again. I just been so blah. I think when you have a genuine and pure heart, it comes to you. But for people like that man, it was so obvious he played on people's emotions and weaknesses for financial gain. He knew it because he knew it. Most of them are like that. That's how they're gonna make money. And I've seen the people that have been very gullible. I called him out and he just laughed and said, "Damn, you're good. You got me." Wow. Well, that's yeah. You got me. Well, give me my money back, bitch. What the hell? See, the only time I've experienced somebody knowing, like I said, it was a person in a group and there was no way for them to see me, no webcam, none of that even built in the system. And unless it literally was a stalker that was looking at me through my windows and knew how I was, they could have been. You never know. If somebody had like a little telescope, they would have to be really doing some creative shit. But I don't think it was that. But they knew what I looked like, where I was sitting, and all that stuff. It was crazy. And they said, "I'm going to tell you something that's going to scare you." And I was like, "Oh, you can't." And it scared the crap out of me. And they left and stopped talking. I'm feeling nice, just going to listen and having a hard time. Sorry. Okay, Winter Moon, that's fine. I hope you feel better soon. But yeah, that was a very creepy experience. And then a tarot reader that I used a couple of times. I think she got things right, but like I said, when I wanted to go into more about, I wanted to go more about the darker things. It didn't need to be like the ultimate darker things, but she could have touched bases on something more simpler than that instead of just saying, like if you tell somebody, their lives are rough or whatever, then you try to give them grounding tools. It's like, don't give me grounding tools. You tell me what the fucking cards say. Don't tell me a grounding tool. We're not in therapy. So once that started happening, I was like, oh no, no, thank you. I'm not gonna pay somebody to give me something I could have in freaking therapy. So I just stopped. The damn grounding tool. Go play in some dirt. I'm like, oh, thank you. Why did I never think of that? What the fuck? So did anybody else have any lovely experience with readers before, or you guys just never tried it? And like I said, so far I'm the only one that I've seen do rune readings. I still haven't seen anybody do rune readings yet. Rune, I know that word I say weird, but I haven't been able to catch anybody doing them. And I got those. What are those things called? That you could use to find water or electricity. I think it is the rods, the dowsing rods. I bought those and they both were bent when they came. And I'm like, this is how my dowsing rods would come, just like this. And I just threw them somewhere and didn't even fuck with them. I gotta bend them out one day and hope those will work. I've only had the one experience. Okay, I never had any interaction, but with you. And I love when you do the rune readings. Okay, so that was your first interaction. Yeah, I think they're fun. They're not. I hate always getting. You gotta wait and you gotta wait and you gotta wait. But I still like the energy with them. I really like it when I get like goosebumps and I could really feel what the message is trying to say and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just like we get the same ones. Cobalt always gets the relationship one. The every single time. I think there hasn't been one time that he didn't get it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? What's his relationship? Uh, trying to think which one that one is. I never heard of runes until you. That was fun. Yeah, I don't understand why. It's like, where are the rune readers? I want to see how people are doing it and stuff. He needs to do better. That's why I tell him every time it comes up. I'm like, what aren't you doing? What aren't you listening to in this reading? There's something you might be doing everything else but one thing. What is this one thing you're doing? I need to know because they're always reading you that way. And I swear the one thing is something that like it's something to do with him. I don't know how to explain it. It's some connection he has to make with him within himself. Like, but to do with him, not anybody. I know you're in the relationship with him, but it's like it's something he has to do alone, like him against him type of thing. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Something needs to be fixed within that part to help the relationship, if you know what I mean. He has men, eyes, and ears. Oh my gosh. See, I deal with it like third person, because my daughter obviously is in a relationship, and I'm always like, how do you guys deal with these people, these men? I know they don't mean to make the mistakes, but dang it, they be making some mistakes. God, he has a lot of inner work to do. Yeah, that's what I think it's always telling him. More power to you guys, so that put up with them, because I don't see. I just never been able to have it in me. I don't have it. And like I said, maybe if I never really had a caring man around me to be, maybe that stuff isn't so bad, but I'm always like, what the heck? You don't know common sense? Or even if you don't know common sense, do you know how much times you heard it? Like 100, 200 times through these years? And you're still doing the same thing? I don't get it. And then for the women to be like, oh, no, still yell at them for the same thing. I was like, you've been yelling at this man for 10 years and he still does the same thing. What is the use? What is the use of saying it over? Do you think he's going to get it one day? I don't think so. I keep trying to boot him, but he keeps coming back. Maybe it's the key. I don't know. Oh my goodness. But do you guys believe that they'll get it even after it's been 10, 15, 20 years? With you believe one day that they're actually going to get what you're saying for the 20 things you do have to repeat over and over in the house? The common sense man, I think, was out of style. Like why? I don't, when they made these generations, like, why? I don't understand it, and it's been with even with the young I see with my nephews growing up and stuff. I'm like, you don't, what the heck? You don't see that right in front of your face, you know? Oh my gosh. Oh, so you guys know they'll never get it, but it doesn't. So you're still gonna yell at, yell at them regardless. That's what I was like my daughter. I'm like, you're. I don't understand. I don't. I just don't have patience for that. Obviously, yelling and stuff. You guys don't either, but I don't know. I just don't know if I could do it every day like that. Obviously, I can't because, like I said, I stopped trying. On my own, I Like I said, I would be the person that would want a buddy to visit like maybe 3 times a year for a weekend or something, like maybe a 3-day weekend. Then I want a mountain. I don't care. But people like that are hard to find. That's why I'm gonna move to the country that gives you that on your insurance, where they have people like that. A concubine for I don't know. They said once a month or something. I gave up when we were 8, and I just still. But I bet he feels like that about me. Besties for life. So we talk. So you think you have things that he got to tell you about a million times too? I don't know. My sister was like that. My older sister was like that with her husband, and my daughter's like that with her boyfriend. But I'm just like, mm. And I see it so often. But it is really their brain. Like, what the heck? Why? Why do that? But when you talk about sports or something else, oh, then you know everything. She knows not to say nothing to me, because if he does, he knows to run. Then Debbie's got the pants up. Oh my gosh, autocorrect is making me mad. Oh, he's not the. He knows not to say nothing to me. Okay. See? Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Nope, you guys made it work. Where, like I said, I didn't ever. Not when I was older. I was like I said, I got away from people and I didn't feel like I wanted to try it. If it was different, if there was somebody decent in the world, I don't know if I would have been able to still tolerate. I really don't think I would have. I swear, I don't think I would have been able to ever live with somebody. Unless, like I said, now I think about when I'm older, and I'm like, well, if I had my own room and he had his own room, doesn't mean that we wouldn't be spending some nights together or something like that. But I still want to be able to be in my room all by myself if I wanted to be. I wear the pants, and he will admit that even the kids say Molly runs the house. Dang, Jesse. Did my comment before the pants get hidden? I keep on forgetting there's no moderator in here. Um, I try my best to keep my distance from him most days, because when it comes to common sense, it's gonna be a fight. I can't stand him feeling like I'm momming him. It's frustrating having to wear. Yeah, let's see the other one. He. Oh, she is corrected. He. How your correction of he got hidden, Jesse? Yeah, that's how my daughter is. She doesn't like. It's always some type of confrontation, but not like I said. It's not bad, like a deep one and stuff. But it's still like annoying to me to have to hear it. I don't know if it's annoying to them. It's annoying to me. I can't lie. I don't even know when to pay the bills. Oh my gosh, she has this house working like a finance machine. Dang, Cobalt. Do you want me to go into my other account to help and hide the messages? It's okay. There hasn't been very many. And then, like I said, YouTube's not pushing out my shit because there's no trolls. Uh, Correct. I pay everything. Yeah. I've never shared. I did for a couple of months where I paid rent with somebody, but why did my computer do that? They but that's what made me leave, because if you know one thing, you know that I'm always gonna have the rent, paid and covered. And so one day, like we were going half on the rent or whatever, and I would keep it in this book. So one day the landlord comes in, he's like, "Oh, I'm here to collect the rent," and I'm just like, "Okay, la la la." Walk to my book, go back, and it's like $50 short when I put both of our parts in there. And then this fool's gonna be like, "I don't know what happened to it." I was out. I had planned my escape after that. I'm like, "Oh, the rent's gonna be a problem? Oh, hell no. I'm out." People are losers. My daddy taught me right and how to balance a checkbook and pay bills. Yeah. Yep. And then you gotta really think, oh, somebody broke in and didn't steal it all. They just stole $50, and there's no way to nothing broken, no door broken, but somebody creeped in just magically and took $50 out, left the rest. Yeah, that's really the worst liar ever. So after that, I never really shared. And that was when I was 20, 21. 21, I was done with like sharing space with a person. I only ever messed up during my C treatment, and oh my god, I screwed us over a few months in a row, but my brain was mush. Oh, and you felt so guilty. That's how with mine, which have to start doing now, where I always write it down in my book, like everything that I paid and everything like that. And I haven't done that the last 2 months. And last month I almost missed a payment on my credit card. I'm like, oh, because they're not all the same dates. So I'm like, you have to have energy enough to rip out that book, and when you're paying your bills, write it all down because I don't need to just fuck up my credit from not paying it when I have the money for it. So it almost happened. It didn't. I caught it like on the day that it was about to happen. So gotta remember, write it in the book. But back in the day, I used to remember every fucking thing. I wouldn't have to write anything down. Gremlins be stealing our socks. I swear they steal the money too. Sometimes, yeah, the gremlin would have stolen all the damn money though. Well, I have a book too. It's huge and green, and I write everything down and snap photos of my receipts. I did the roommate thing at 21 too with my BFS at the time and her kids. I broke our friendship apart because she was so irresponsible in parenting and bills. Yeah, she would leave in the middle of the night probably. Middle. I was thinking we're waiting for another part. Oh, it was hidden. And um, in the middle of the night to party, and then call me and ask to check on them. And she would always be $200 short for the rent. Oh hell no! Heck no! So she would be leaving without even freaking telling you, and then call you saying check on her kids, and then no short on the rent. You out? I can't do that. I haven't seen Diane in here either. What is my thing doing? Hold on, is this? Is Is my thing okay? You guys can hear me? Uh, I've never had a roommate other than my ex and then John. I love living alone, making my apartment all mine. Owning a home is stressful. I can't wait to move. I'm sick of this house. Yeah, we're sick of this damn apartment. We can't. I hope we can move soon and it's not some emergency situation. I hope we could just find a dang house, plan on moving it, and it happen instead of us. We have to go, so we're trying to look now so we can try to find one. We definitely need something bigger, and I need something that's more, really handicap equipped. This place sucks, so I'll be glad just to have more space. Like I said, from when I moved in here, I still never unpacked like 90% of my stuff. They're still all in totes because I had to move a whole apartment in one freaking room. So hardly anything got unpacked. And now like when the grandbaby's going and stuff, and I'm like, well, damn, those been sitting. I went and I'm just throwing away stuff because I'm like, it sat there for 3 years. I didn't need it. I don't need it. Like I threw away, which was hard for me, but I had like 10 foundations, and I'm like, when I saw them, I'm like, they've been sitting there 3 years. Doesn't matter if they were new, not opened. I wouldn't use them again. I have to throw them away. And I'm like, no, but I have to. So that's what I'm going to start doing throughout, a little bit every week is taking and saying, hey, it's been sitting there. I don't need it. I got to minimize some shit. So when I do move, it will be just this, the stuff that I really need. And some that, of course, I just want, but not as much as I have. I have too much. I have way too much makeup, all that stuff. I can hear you fine, okay. Yes, I hear babies crying and wondering why nobody was comforting them. Well, it's because they were alone. Dang. So I called her mom to come take care of them and then put in my notice, yeah. Yes, you definitely need somewhere accommodating. Yeah, for sure. Somewhere you won't have to worry about your porch disappearing. Lord, that was well. I know, but even getting off the porch, on and off. Um, but at least I have a way out now with the porch. Before with the back door, I did it because it's missing a step. I hope your next place has handicap accessibility things throughout the apartment to help. That's what we're looking for. I hope there's in this New York State. I think too. I don't know if it depends on what county, but I know there's a lot of places that when you do rent, if the people aren't don't have it accessible, there's certain things they have to do by law. But I also don't want to make a landlord do that because they're not going to want to keep me long term if I'm like, hey, you have to install this. A big thing is toilets. Like, you know how low toilets are? If you're a certain height, you're supposed to be able to get a taller toilet. If you're a certain height and you're handicapped, yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm sitting on the floor every fucking time, I'm on there. So I know that a landlord has to do that, but I have yet to say to one of them, hey, you gotta replace the toilet. Because, like I said, I know they're gonna be like, oh, well, we want this person out. Shit. Um, I need my ramp and bathroom handles and chairs. Exactly, that's what I need. Especially the handles and chairs. If I can't get the ramp, that's something that I'll have to deal with. But the handles and the chairs and all that stuff, I need it. So those are not expensive thing. I think probably the ones that they have to get for this is gonna be more expensive than just a regular toilet. If they're already installed, if they won't get rid of you because then it's already custom to you. I know, that's what I'm saying. I hope that it gets like that. There are also programs for them to get handicap accessible equipment, yeah. But people act like they can't do anything. And then it's so scary because it's like you don't ever know. How are you supposed to know that the person that's showing the apartment, that it's their house or apartments, or if they're the realtor for it, like the agent? How do you verify that? Because I remember hearing from scams and stuff. Then I asked, just like somebody asked for my license, I asked for their license too. And they got offended. I'm like, I did that because the house before I was renting, once the pipes burst, the guy said, "Oh, this isn't even my house anyway, and it's in foreclosure." So he was like just getting the money from me to give it to like a family friend or something. And they were just like, fuck, let this house go in foreclosure, not even tell me about it. But then when the pipes burst, it's like, oh, this house is going in foreclosure anyway. And just left me assed out, you know? So I'm just wondering, how could you verify? And there's a lot of people now that are freaking just saying their apartments are available, getting money from people, and the people are just getting robbed because they can't move in. There's too much shit going on, too many scams. I believe every apartment building should have so many apartments with special accommodations. Yeah, well, you don't see it often, and also it's not like I don't want to move into like an apartment building that has multiple anymore. I want it to be only like two, one upstairs, another downstairs, whatever, not a whole bunch. Those like that's what we have now. That's what I've had for the most part. Those are really hard to get special accommodations in. So I just hope we find something that just comes a little bit close. But there needs to be a way. Like they have to verify us. They need to make a way where we can verify them. It's just not fair. There's too much scams, you know. I feel like the apartments that are on websites mostly are really, things that are places that you move in. Any apartment I have found, it has been like with the apartment sign in the front of the place, like for rent or something. Anything online has been some scammy shit. So I don't know. You have the right to ask them, and they have to verify. Yeah, but they act like that's it's like that here. I don't know. Anytime I mean we're gonna have to ask because there's too much. But that like so when I did ask, they were like what? You're asking me this? It's like I'm handing you over 3 months rent and all my information. Like how the hell? And the receipt's just supposed to help me? No, that doesn't help anymore. But yeah, definitely want to be in a room where I could open up my windows, not where they're falling apart and taped shut because they don't care crap about this house. No screens, like no spider heaven if you don't have it taped up. No, thank you. So we definitely need to move. I need to have it where I can have a latch on my door so that baby doesn't come just ramming through every time. Yeah, exactly. A window with a dang screen so I can get fresh air. Exactly. The only fresh air I get is when the kitchen window's opened and my door is opened, but not any window open in here. So yeah, definitely it's unfortunate because we're gonna probably end up paying probably like $600 more for around the same type of apartment, but that's how bad the rent went up after 2020. Oh, but baby needs easy access. Don't you shut the door. Hey, he can't be coming in here a million times anytime he wants to. Only when I'm up and about. He'll be coming in here while I'm sleeping. All you hear is, um, come here. Them chasing him out my room. I can't FC you with hi. What the hi? Okay, that's nice. Can you see the light to hit that, maybe? This is a podcast style video. That's why YouTube made this where you could hide the video. Because sometimes people just want to talk. This is him making sure his Nana's still where he knows her to be. Him's a Nana's boy. It's like, please, well, I didn't see it go up. Yeah, he has to have everybody's attention on him at certain times. That's why I was hoping to see him running today, but he was too messed up. Hopefully tomorrow I'll see him running around. Who would have known you get heart attacks over your children and raising them? But then the grandbabies come, and the grandbabies you thought the heart attack for your children was bad, but the heart attack that you have for your grandbaby is worse. If there's something wrong with them and stuff, oh my goodness. That, because you're worried about your grandbaby and you're worried about your baby being okay, that your grandbaby's, not okay. So you got double whammy. You also need a bed in your room for him to. Yeah, it's not a rule. It's true. That is true. I need either a bigger one because I'm only have a twin. But yeah, I fell asleep at 6 p.m. yesterday. I just woke up. Oh, you're gonna be up for a while. But obviously your body needed it. I can't believe he's gonna be one in a couple of days. Time flew. Time sucked. He made time special. But still, there's a lot of rough stuff going on. But I'm glad there was a special thing in between all the rough crap. My God, maybe I'll hold off on wanting to be a granddaddy. These kids of mine. Oh my God, it stressed me enough. Yeah, yeah. It's beyond that. With the grandbaby, the feeling. King bed for you and a king bed for him. My dream room is just to have a bed for multiple. Yeah, I did need it a lot, girl. Yeah, he's about to be. And then I even thought about he can't even have cake because it has dairy in it, and they ordered a cake. I know. Well, she said it was mainly for him to smash it, but he can't even smash it. I don't think. I don't think she thought about that, so I think she wasted her money. Non-smoking and drinking. Oh, sounds like fun. Because I remember one time his dad was eating, I think a mozzarella stick or something. Not, the mozzarella string cheese things. And he ate one, and then he picked him up, and then the baby had all rashes where his fingers held him. You could see where he picked him up and everything. So I don't know if as the cake is gonna be a thing. She would have to ask if they have the non-dairy whipped frosting. Oh, I gotta ask her about that because it's already ordered. Though I don't know if she could change it. Um, yeah, something's gonna have to give. Maybe. Mm, yeah, you don't want to be mixing alcohol and medication together. That's never a good thing. He needs a smash cake. I always made those for the kids because my kids couldn't. Yeah, she does. What she did get a smash cake, but I don't think she got it. I don't think she got it vegan. She just because they don't like cake. I think I'm the only one that likes cake. So I think she was just like got it decorated and was like, well, he's gonna smash it anyway. Yeah, it's fundamental. Well, don't mix all that together though. That's not a good combination. One day you might not wake up doing that type of stuff. Especially with sleeping pills. That's like one of the number one things that could get you unalived if you do sleeping pills with that. You said you said with just one berry you was so okay. Yeah, I gotta ask her tomorrow though, so yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that. And I've seen a lot of people take their stuff with the drink, and it's like if I did that, I would be laid out like gone. My system must be so different than other people's because I couldn't even do that something like that. I only did that one time, and that was one time enough for me to know, like, oh, okay, this is not the thing to do. Not the recipe for a disaster. I just wanted to sleep, but it wasn't happening. Yeah, but you should wait 24 hours after you take something to try to drink something. Vegan ones taste good to me, but John and my kids don't like the taste of it. Yeah, if it's just a smash cake though, then she could get it like that, and I'll just miss out on the cake. I'm like, oh, cause I was like, at least before you smash it, give me a piece, but not if it has to be vegan, non-dairy stuff. I don't think, I don't think this one's gonna work. Or just a small bite, not of a non-dairy vegan cake. Heck no, they keep that. The non-dairy whipped frosting tastes no different at all. It's just lighter and fluffier. But then the cake will be yucky though, I think. Even if the frosting was good. Why is my computer doing this? I don't know. Oh, please, computer, don't break. Every time something, like I said, something gets so intense for me, some electronic thing must mess up. Don't make me dare you. I want to take a bite of that cake. Oh no. My computer's not keeping up with the live and it keeps on going out. That's weird. Don't leave me, computer. I cannot fix you in any way. They made it impossible for that to happen. Non-dairy frosting tastes more sugary. Actually, it's pretty good. Work? Oh yeah, work, computer. It shouldn't go dark. I don't know if something was switched off or what. Maybe something else is playing and I don't know it. No. It could just be YouTube last night. Diana's live kept doing that. It would glitch and the voice was off from her mouth movements. Wow. What happened to Jeremy? Did he ever make it to, what the heck? Please don't. Please don't be no noise knocking on the inside of my closet that has never made any noise in there whatsoever. Don't do that. Please don't. I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but right when I was talking about ghosts don't bother me, but not that. Don't be making noise in a closet I've never even freaking seen the inside of. Stuff is just packed in there. Like, don't do it. I forgot what I was even saying. You heard this? See, that's oh my gosh. What was I even saying? Oh, it's probably your computer then. It didn't go dark. Oh, I have no idea. They haven't went live. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Cause he said it would be in California. They haven't went live. Oh, I messaged him. I'll message him in a bit. Waiting to see his house. Well, I don't know if he's gonna show his house, but like his backyard and stuff. Oh hell no! I reviewed getting and a lot of that creepy stuff. That was like, no, thank you. Don't be knocking it up in here. Don't be knocking up in here. Shoot. I have no clue. I'm focused on the knock now. Yeah. Uh-uh. Well, I was gonna read rooms, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. 'Cause I don't like what something's. I don't know what that something is. We gonna pass on that tonight. I don't play with things that think they could just be like, hey, what's up? Shoot. And then the other night, I forgot what live that was in, but when I was hearing that windy scream, that's the only way I could explain it. Was a fucking windy scream when there's no wind in this bitch. That I went back and heard it. You can still hear it there. It's so long. It's right at the end. I forgot what video that was, but it's so long. And you guys heard it too. And it sounded like a low banshee scream. And it was came from within my room. It wasn't outside. You know how you could hear things from outside. It wasn't anything like that, you know. And I got off pretty quickly because I'm like, well, I still want to check the house and make sure everything's okay, even though I knew it didn't come from anywhere but inside this room. So it's still on there. No, Jesse, I'm not even. Jesse trying to set me up to try to say that. I'm not even asking no. I don't need to ask no questions like that. You would ask if something knocked on your closet? No, thank you. I'm not right. I'm not asking. I don't want any. I don't want any answers. I don't want a direct line. Not when my life has been going totally downhill lately. No, thank you. That's the type of stuff that tries to set you up. The view count dropped soon as this combo started. Look what the I would say then. Uh, I would say that person about hold my cross and my pew pew, which would do nothing for a lot of things. Oh, it dropped once the combo started. Well, because of ghosts? Something just not. Well, what am I supposed to do? But I wanted to see if Jeremy made it to the house, and then if he still, while he was sleeping there, if he still would get the motion detectors going off and stuff. If he does, he should wait until that time, and then when it happens, go out there. The right, does he want to get a shoot at? They're already dead, exactly. But when I do, it's gonna be if to get into another place. I got ghost equipment, I got a few things that are supposed to pick up on it. And believe me, I sat with this equipment. I hope I took the batteries out of everything. If I didn't, that's like $600 worth of equipment down the drain. But I think I did. I think I remember taking the batteries out of everything. But that equipment, when I first got it, right, I was using it with a few people that were there when I got it, and it was going off for hours. And I was like, "Oh, this equipment is stupid. It's gonna, if it's gonna go off for hours, it's just sensitive. It doesn't work." That was the only day that equipment did that. I sat with it for months after that, and nothing happened. So I know there was a few things here and there, but for the most part, when you have equipment, it is so boring most of the time because nothing goes off. So I can understand the excitement when something does happen with it. So I do want to start like little videos like that when I get into a better place and that stuff unpacked. Like I want to be able to ask certain questions and see if the things I have will go off. And one of them is I don't know if you guys ever seen people use it where it jumbles and mixes up the radio stations. So then like a few words will come across. That one I feel like that equipment is a fail because you can still hear like the music and stuff. But I remember when I was growing up and the radio used to always be on. And then there will always be shit changing where it would be just the static and then I would hear stuff. So I think that has something to it. Let me stay delusional. Wait, I missed a few things. He was gonna, oh no, he was gonna visit Vegas first. Oh, okay. Okay, then California. He just said when I asked him, he just said he would be there by the 6th, so maybe that was when he started it. Let me stay delusional that I would be safe. Come on. Yes, to see the ghosties will be so scared of your pew pew that they will float away screaming for their mommy. Yeah. See, that's better. Thank you. Oh, that would scare the crap out of me. I would never turn the radio on again. Yeah, so I forgot what those devices are called. And then it has the, is it, EMF detector. That's the one where that usually if you're running across your electrical stuff, like your electrical outlets or whatever, it will turn the green light to red because it's just showing you where the wiring is, off of electricity, of course. So that one, you can communicate with things from there because things are electricity. So yeah, EMF. So I have an EMF detector. So I would sit there with that for I'm telling you hours and hours. Sometimes I would just be on all day so I could see it just stays at a steady green. But there are some times where I did used to see it go to red, and I would say like bring it to orange. Something would let it get to orange. So, but like I said, more times than not, there's nothing. You get boring nothingness all day long. So like I said, when it does work, you're like, oh shit, something's happening. People don't see that when people make videos because they just think, oh, their stuff is going off all the time. I bet most of the time they're just sitting there wishing that stuff goes off when they're real. I know there's a lot of fake people that create all this fake stuff now, but when they're real, it's scary and fun at the same time. I think because, like I said, I only had that one night, and then like a couple of other nights. But out of like 6 months of using that equipment, that was it. So it shows that there's something there. I told you I wanted to be go around in to haunted places and stuff and help like haunted families if it's their house, if it's their bloodline. Like I could help with a lot of stuff like that because I had to fight a lot of things myself. So I have, I can help people steady out their life when they're being haunted by stuff. I remember going to this super old cemetery as a kid with my friends, playing hide and seek, and all our things were with batteries would drain, especially our walkie talkies that had brand new batteries. Yeah, and that definitely means something's taking that energy. But I will never be the one how people say, oh, touch me. Just not a hell no. You keep your. And people say, if you're real, I don't care. Like I better not say that out loud now, but I don't know if you guys have watched the shows where they're like that. And I was like, you must not have never. You didn't get fucked with hard enough from a demon or ghost thing. I got fucked with in like the biggest ways. I don't need nobody to reassure me. There's one clip where there's a group of people in a hotel room that do that, and one lady was laying on the bed and she got straight yeeted off the bed, and you could tell there was nothing that did that, but something just yanked her off the bed. I would love to visit a haunted house, but I would be the dumb butt saying stupid shit, and then I would end up on the exactly. That's you couldn't be on my team because I would have been like, we don't use those words here. You guys to go. You can't be too scared when it comes to those things, and you can't be too careless either. So there's a lot of people that die in that field that people don't pay attention to, but they do. In so why are your I wonder why your corrections, Jesse, are hidden for some reason. Because all you did was say in. I'll bless myself for. That's always a good thing, but sometimes it doesn't work. It depends on how strong the thing is that we're going in on. Some people are just scared of houses in general that have nothing happening. Um, I know there was one house here. I never knew what street or the address or whatever, but I know that house had to be so haunted because anybody that I knew and people that I knew that they didn't know each other, But they were always talking about this one demon house here. And I'm like, dang, I wish I would have just asked for the address. Not like I would have been there, but I want to see how it looks. Because like I said, different people told me about it, and they don't even know each other about the same house. Like three different people. Because people keep on having to move out of it because whatever's in there is just so bad they can't stay. They are, but I see them. That's why what? You see what? What do you mean? Oh, you see because I passed them through, whatever it's called. I say show. Let's go visit. I'm in. I think you see your corrections after I say show it, but beforehand they're held. I don't ever see the corrections on my computer, so I only see it on the phone that I'm streaming from. But on my computer where I read it, it never shows the correction. That's why when other people push show, like in other mods, then I'm like, you gotta tell me when it says it because I won't ever see a person saying anything. Hey, Cherry. Thank you for listening in. But, yeah. But yeah, we don't need to talk to the little ghostie that decided to knock because there hasn't been a day. I've been here almost 3 years. There hasn't been a day anything knocked in there. I feel like I don't want it to stop me from reading the room because I wanted to read the rooms because I haven't. I feel like I shouldn't punk out and I should just read it. You guys think I should just read it or what? After the ghosty knock? Let me know. They're the haunted tours you can do, but I'm a chicken. So all we need is somebody that's strong for our haunted tours. We need somebody strong to be pushing my wheelchair, and they have to be handcuffed to my wheelchair because if everybody gets scared, you're about to be rolling me away. You're not about to be leaving me behind. So you're gonna be handcuffed to my wheelchair. That's the job requirement. I was saying because we're doing a little, yeah, because I would need, like I wouldn't be able to walk through if we did haunted tours and stuff. I would need a wheelchair, and if everybody runs and they leave me assed out, that's not right. John will push you while I zoom off in my. John will push you while I zoom out in my electric chair. Oh, so wait a minute. We get an electric chair now. That's different. I want an electric chair. While I zoom out my electric chair, screaming. See, there'll be rules. We can't scream. Um, you can't be left behind in wheelchairs. There's gonna be rules to all this. Oh, hold on. I gotta push mute so you guys won't hear the pain I go through to reach my result on. Because my side's really hurting. Alright, I'm back. Yes, but I'm taking your battery out, so you have to fight for the ghost for us. Oh, heck no. This doesn't seem like a good team so far. Oh, my light. Yeah, that's a thing to think about too. If the ghost needed the batteries of the wheelchair, so you would be just sitting there. We would both be sitting there in an electric chair. Once it's done, it can't be rolled, right? I like this team. um, I'll be a good teammate. I promise we will handcuff our chairs together. And then we gotta have backup walkers and canes and shit, just in case it gets stuck. I won't be talking, just listening. Can't sleep after surgery. It's uncomfortable. Well, this will help me relax. Should try to sleep. Keep up the lives and do rooms. Night, everyone. Good night. I hope you have a fast recovery with that surgery. I hope it heals fast. Oh my god, yes, I have blue sparkly canes. We can share. Jarman pushes both. They can roll when they. Oh, they could roll when they turn off? Okay. I always thought they just had to be sitting there. Alright, we're gonna do rooms and then I'm hopping off here. Yes, they can still be pushed, but they have to be turned off. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay. Let's see if I get something different. These are so cold. That's weird. I got possessions. So I hope it's not person possessed. No. Remember I was saying I gotta start throwing out some of my crap. Possessions. 106. Freddy the Knocking Ghost made the Colt. Yes. Oh, his name is Freddy? No. 109. That's not it. Did I read that wrong? Oh, 106, not 109. Okay, this one says, this rune is of fulfillment. Ambition satisfied. Love fulfilled. Yeah, right. Rewards received. Really? It promises nourishment from the most worldly to be the sacred and divine. For if the ancient principle, as above, so below, is true, then we are also here to nourish God. This room calls for a deep probing of the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth or possessions you required for your well being, or rather self rule and the growth of a will. Yeah. Computer, what is happening to you? Oh my gosh. I gotta read that last line again because I don't know what this computer's doing. Let me if I redo this. It says the last line was again. Um, okay, look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions you require for your well being, or rather self rule and the growth of a will. And I want to say wealth. I want to say wealth and possessions, but I know that's the wrong thing. I think it really still is like rather self rule or a growth of a will. Another concern of this rune is conserving what has already been gained. It urges vigilance and continual mindfulness, especially in times of good fortune. For it is then that we are likely to collapse ourselves into our success on the one hand, or to behave recklessly on the other. Enjoy your good fortune and remember to share it. The mark of the well nourished self is a willingness to nourish others. Yeah, I know that. I know what this rune, basically is telling me the thing that I always wish for is to, like, what I was saying before, like, I know I could help others. I know that what I've gone through, like, with, just everything in life, I know I could help others. If they would just listen. Some people got to listen. Um, But I know I wish I could say, "Oh, this is about money." When they talk about what I'm coming into, but it's not about. It's not going to be money. I want it to be money, but it's not going to be money. I know if anything, if I come into anything, it's one where I feel like I don't doubt myself as much. Like I said, your will, you're trying to find it. I think I know where it is. I just have to have more confidence in it. I have to know that it's strong enough to get through anything and all that stuff. So I definitely know it's not, yeah, I'm about to get some money when it talks about what I'm going to be receiving. And that's the sucky part. I would love to say, oh, yeah, this is about money, but I know it's not. That was a little too good to be true, if not that simple. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely hard fucking work. And like I said, you have to not want the possessions and the monetary things, which is hard for anybody, especially when that's how the world keeps going. Money. It could be wealth, and yeah, it is wealth in a different sense because it's gonna be my ass is still gonna be broke as hell, but maybe I'll feel more secure in all the things that I need to feel. I'm working on it. I work on it every day. Like I said, I wish the life in turn, it's saying receiving something. So can I receive that? Even like I said, even if it's not money, can I receive whether it be confidence? I've worked on it. It's like there's some parts that I need a break in to be able to see it. It's like, okay, I got this. Um, So yeah, I understand you, Rune. Um, does anybody want theirs? Dang it! I know that I'm like dang it because I just don't get. I know I'm not gonna get the money part, but I get why this room came out for me for sure. Cobalt. Now, if you get the same one, Cobalt, what bag do you want? One, two, or three? One, two, or three? Oh, you. Oh, oh, oh. You said John last. What? You picked three. I'll do yours next, Jesse. But you gotta go first. He said, "Forget you, John." Dang, my stomach's been growling this whole time. Oh no, you don't like him, Tail? No. Let's see if it's a different one. It's the warrior. We all know about the warrior, and it's upright. The warrior is always like a good thing because it's always like you're the warrior, you're fighting. Of course, you know that more than anybody. But it's also like I think every time somebody gets it, it's also you have the feeling of why do you have to fight all the time. But we'll still read it. At least that's what I got from it. I'm like, I'm sick of being the warrior. 113. And Jesse got this last time too, I think. So now it's your turn. Let's see if it feels different for you when I read it. Like I say, you can read it and it always seems to be different. I don't know if you got, was yours upright or reversed? I don't remember, Jesse. John's is upright though. So this says, this is a rune of the spiritual warrior. Always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self, funding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes, remaining mindful that all you could really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the sword of discrimination that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, the strenuous. And yet, with this rune comes certain knowledge that the universe always has the first move. Patience is a virtue of this rune, and it recalls the word of St. Augustine. The reward of patience is patience. Here you are asked to look within, to delve down to the foundations of your life itself. Only in so doing can you hope to deal with the deepest needs of your nature and to tap into your most profound resources. The molding of character is at issue with this rune when this rune appears in your spread. Associated with this rune are the sun, masculine energy, and active principle. The urge towards conquest is prominent here, especially self conquest, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single mindedness, and a willingness to undergo your passage with compassion and in total trust. In issues of relationships, devotion to a cause, an idea, or a path of conduct, the warrior rune consoles perseverance, although at times the kind of perseverance required is patience. We're hearing patience, patience, patience. This room of courage is of courage and dedication. In ancient times, it was this. Well, they talk about how it's painted on everybody's shield before battle. Now, the same symbol strengthens your resolve in the struggle of self with self. I don't know if you were hearing me earlier when I was saying you got the same room, which wasn't this room, but I was saying that it was something in yourself that you had to work on for that to change. And that's pretty much what this is saying too, like your battle within yourself, like if you conquer that to a certain point, it's going to benefit you in life. And I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about that. So, um, it's basically saying the same thing. Like there's something within yourself, like some battle that you have to conquer you know, to make things work a little bit better. So Jesse says, "Yep, 100. What does John say? I don't like me anyway." He said, "Thank you. Did you get? That's crazy. It's the same for a reason. Yeah, that's why I say this. This is energy. This is not just bull bull crap. I'm not looking. I don't even know. I couldn't know what rune to pull because I don't remember shit about the runes to say, oh, let me pull this one. It goes with what I said earlier. No, I don't even know this rune like that to know that it said all this stuff. It's just energy and it just comes out these ways. So that's pretty cool. It's hard to put into words, but it's real. I can't connect to each of those parts in different ways. I can connect to each of those parts in different ways, yeah. And those are the hardest parts to work on. It's like you can work on somebody else with them, and it seems it's so much easier when you're working on each other. But then when you have to turn that and you gotta work on yourself, and nobody else can help you in those with those things, those are the hardest ones. Because only you could do it. Oh, let me put this back in here, and then we'll do Jesse's. Don't not on me. All right, Jesse. Do you want bag number one, bag number two, or bag number three? I'm over here saying, yep, see, John? And he's giving me the mean eyes. Oh, no. Two, okay. Two. All right. Let's see. You got protection, the protection room, but in reverse. That is protection in reverse, 104. Why did I get chills with this? Chills, I came. Did we get this before? Alright. This says, I don't know if we got this before. Oh my gosh. Be thoughtful about your health and do not add to the burdens others are carrying. Look carefully at all associations you form at this time. If you see fit to become involved with people who are using you, remain cautious of the fact and take responsibility for your own position. Then you can only benefit. Regardless of whether your enterprise prospers or suffers, do not be concerned. You may not win, but you will never lose, for you will always learn from what takes place. Temperance and courtesy are the sinews of this rune. Protection powers. I said there better not be a name. I thought it was a silverfish. I'm like, oh heck no. Dang, the first things, be thoughtful about your health and do not add to the burdens of others that others are carrying. And then it basically means like the using part basically means if you are like somebody's in your life that you basically you don't have a connection with what you have to use, they're using you too in a way, I believe, when these things pop up. And it just basically is saying remain self-aware that that's exactly what that person is there for, and that's it. Like, be cautious in that, but also know that's what you're doing too, as in you're using them too, so be cautious of that. And basically that's as far as it goes, and eventually they're going to be gone, but it does say you will prosper. You're not going to, but it says you may not win, but you will never lose, so, but yeah, you gotta take care of your health. No, it's never, yeah, you don't get the good stuff either. I don't think any of us did. Anybody? Well, I got the good stuff. See, mine's saying I'm not gonna have money. What's coming to me is not gonna be money. It's gonna be what I need inside, and I appreciate that. Just wish I love the money part too, but I'd also love whatever comes inside. I protect my peace and learn from the negative, and I do have to do better with my health. Yeah, same. Um, one of those please, but only rejoice in the. Well, there was a little prayer thing, but I don't want to read that. What? You've been canceling appointments? Oh no. See, I didn't know all the way what this room was telling you, but you did. I know appointments are so overwhelming, but it's just like, you gotta do them, especially when you just went through what you went through. Just like me with this pain over here, where I'm like, oh, it's gonna go away, and it hasn't gone away. If anybody on here wants a room reading that way I didn't read yet, let me know, because I'm about to hop off. I'll wait like a few minutes, but if not, then I'm getting off here. Because I'm having hot flash. I got chills, and then I got hot flash. Lovely age. I get my results for test on the 14th. Oh no, yeah. Oh no. Ooh, a lot. That's a lot to handle. I pray they turn out fine and clear. Hopefully you'll be able to catch some more lives to distract yourself. Like I said, I might be moving these times around. got to figure out what's going to work. This so far isn't working right now, so I might have to switch the time a little bit earlier. Even though it didn't work, but it might work now. I've got to find my little, got to get this algorithm to some point where I at least get over 100 views. I know it doesn't seem like much, but that's what I was getting before, so I got to get back to that. These low view counts, I can't deal with. Um, Thank you, me to I'm having John look because I can't wanted to get. Yeah, I understand that. Um, but like I said, I'm always praying for you guys, and um, I know you do the same for me. So even though, like I said, I mentioned the numbers and stuff on here, um, just the time that I've had on here and who's supported me and stuff like that, that always will mean something to me. You know, even if certain people decided to not come back and stuff, I still appreciated the support when they did support me. Um, but like I said, thank you guys for being here and coming in and stuff. Letting me read your rooms and everything. What is a sweet spot? I don't know. Since we have time to change that, I have no idea. I wish I knew. If people listen back, you guys could tell me what time do you think would be comfortable for you, and we might be able to come up with some time that works for a few people. Um, but right now, I used to get like a little bit of comments. Everything stopped, like it's just stopped. So it's kind of weird for me, but I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm not gonna give up. Yes, you're always in my prayers. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna try to get this. You know, um, try switching it up a bit. And yeah, that's about it for now. So I hope you guys have a good night. Like I said, if you guys want to be joining the book thing, the book's name and titles on the post. I got the book one. Now it's delayed to what was it, the 12th? But when that comes in, we can start reading it. I tried 10 before a couple of times, and it really didn't work. But I think that's the time I'm going for, like 10 or 11 around that time, and see if it's going to be different. But like I said, everybody can tell me their times to see, but I am going to be probably trying around that time. Have a good night. Thank you for spending time with us. So thank you guys for spending time with me. Um, like I said, everybody that came in and anybody silent viewers, hi. Hit that like button. Lurkers, hit that like button. All right, you guys, I gotta go because this hot flash is really getting to me. Um, I hope you guys have a good night and sweet dreams. Oh, she said sweet dreams. Good night. I got the book. I'm gonna start reading it tomorrow. Okay. So I get mine in on the 12th or whenever they decide to get it. And if you guys want to join in, let me know, other people. All right. I'll see you guys next time.